In parts of the Democratic Republic of the Congo, medical care arrives by water. The rivers are the roads in this country. The boat was a donation from Germany. It travels into the Ngiri Reserve, the largest swamp forest in Central Africa. Dr. Yorson Bosolo and his colleagues bring help to places where there are no doctors. The floating clinic travels the Congo River and its tributaries for weeks.
The ambulance boat gives free medical care to patients in the villages around the Ngiri Reserve. We make an average of 6 trips a year to a total of 29 villages around the reserve. Those villages are extremely difficult for healthcare workers to reach.
Didier Mazongo from the Worldwide Fund for Nature is on board. He's the project director in the Ngiri Reserve.
We're now in the nature reserve in the Ngiri Triangle, where there are quite a number of villages. The aim of this project is to improve the living conditions of the population while helping them preserve its biodiversity.
The rainforest in Central Africa actually has one of the world's highest levels of biodiversity. But the forests, rivers, and sandbanks here are empty. Civil war, poverty, and hardship have almost wiped out the fauna along the Ngiri River. Didier Mazongo takes us deeper into the reserve. Large areas of the forest along the Ngiri are underwater almost all year long. That's the only reason why many animals can survive there, although no one knows exactly how many.
We're now in the heart of the reserve, with its specific character as a swamp forest, which plays a crucial role in maintaining the water supply and preserving biodiversity. You can still find rare antelope species and even hippopotami in this river.
A practice exercise with game wardens in the reserve. They have to be quick to catch poachers. Good training ensures survival. It's a dangerous job. There are a lot of weapons in the country. Often, it's local people who hunt the animals in the reserve.
The greatest threat to the fauna are the traps set by the village communities. But they also use guns. That's why the game wardens patrol the reserve every day. But the wardens also go into the villages to explain to the people how important the reserve is.
Subsistence hunting wouldn't be so damaging for the fauna, but a great deal of game and fish is taken by boat to the capital, Kinshasa, about 800 kilometers away. Jefte Mponjo and Sylvain Lombolo fish on the edges of the reserve. Almost all the people in their village live from fishing and a bit of farming. Like many here, the two used to fish with mosquito nets.
We depend on fishing for our livelihood. There used to be lots of fish here. That's why there was always a large market in our village. With the income from fishing, we could buy medicine and clothing. But many here fish with fine mesh nets. That enables them to catch a lot of fish, but it includes the small ones. So now there are hardly any fish anymore.
At the village market, the results are clear to see. Bread, manioc, fruit and beans are on offer, but scarcely anything else. The situation has become dramatic, even though the environmentalists sometimes find surprises.
Here among these fish are some from a species that we don't usually find anymore. We thought the species had disappeared here. It's called lilangwa. Albert, how big do they normally get?
Very often I've seen them reach the size of my forearm.
There are hardly any alternatives for the people here. The doctors also know that people will only be able to show any consideration for nature if their own lives improve.
The most frequent illnesses here are malaria, sexually transmitted diseases, acute respiratory diseases, diarrhea, and anemia. The local population's health problems have a lot to do with the difficulty of getting access to medical care due to poverty and the fact that they're far away from the big cities.
Night has fallen, and the doctors are still at work. They've already treated more than 300 patients in a mere 2 days. And their trip has only just started.